going to walk you through each question of the part 2 of the midterm. So writing this one as a decimal, what we got is 3/16. That's cowboys and horses. So the cowboy sleeps inside and the horse sleeps outside. Now you're dividing, but 16 does not go into 3. 16 will go into 30. It'll go one time, and that's 16. And then, I know the answer is not B already, and it's not C, and it's not D. It could be E. Well, let's see. If I subtract here, that would be 4. Oh, no. It'd be 14 and a 0. And I extend that. And now what I'm going to test is since I see a 1, I'm going to test 8 now. And 16 times 8, that's 48, 128. I think that's going to work. 128. And that's a 2 and 1. And probably I bring down another 0. That's going to be 7, because 8 times is 128. I already know it's going to be this one. It's over. So once you know the answer is that, move on. Save time for other questions. Which ones? Well, if you have 11 minus 8, that's the same thing as saying 11 plus a negative 8. Because 11 minus 8 is 3, and 11 plus negative 8 is also 3. So when I find that, 11 plus negative 8, it's this one right here. This negative 3 plus 15, that part, see, the signs are different. You have negative 3 and positive 15. You have to subtract the two numbers. And so you get 12. And it's going to be positive 12 because 3 is negative and 15 is positive. There's more positives than negatives. And now I have to write down the minus 20. And 12 minus 20, well, that's negative 8. Boom. Whew. Okay, we have the elevation of this lake is the lake. It goes down here. It's negative 133 meters, and then there's this Mount Everest, this super high mountain. If that's 0, that's 8,000. So this distance right here is 8,844.43 meters. So the question then is, what is the distance from the top all the way to the bottom? And you might think you have to subtract. I guess you do. You have 8,844.43 minus that negative 133. And remember, positive peanut right there, and everything's positive. So really, it's 8,844.43 plus 133. Now, I got to erase some stuff here. I got to make some room for this. This is it's going to take a little bit of space. But if I write down 8,844.43 and I add 133, notice where I put 133. The decimals got to line up. Some students will make mistakes. They'll do this. They will write 133 like this, and now the decimals hasn't lined up because the decimal's right there. So I won't labor this too much. Just make sure it's 133 decimal point 43778 decimal point 8977.43. Right there. Product. The word product means to multiply. So you have 13.5 times 20.2. And 5 times 2 is 10. That's 672. On the next row, you don't put a number there, and 0 times 5 is 0, 0 times 3, 0 times 1, and then you have to have 2 spots, and then you start multiplying. 2 times 5 is 10, and it's 7 and then 2. Add them all up, 0, 7, 2, 7, 2. Move the decimal 1 time, move the decimal 2 times, 1, 2, 272.7. But you have to remember the zero triangle, where when you multiply, we have a positive number times a negative number. So if you have a positive times a negative, the answer is negative. So it's this one, B. All right, I'm going to write this one down here. 10 minus 2 times quantity 4 minus 8 all squared. PEMDAS. Okay, so parentheses. Do that first. 4 minus 8, that is negative 4. Squared. 2. Notice how I'm writing everything down there. Now, exponents. That means negative 4 to the second power. Negative 4 to the second power means negative 4 times negative 4, which is positive 16. And then I'm going to write down all the other stuff. 10 minus. Now I multiply. 2 times 16, that is 32. And there is no division, there is no addition, but there is subtraction. 10 minus 32, that's equal to negative 22. And that is C. Which of the following is not, okay, so when you have negative 3/5, you can put that negative anywhere you want. You can put it on the bottom. You can put it right in the middle. It's all the same thing. So you can put it on the bottom, you can put it in the middle. And if you have 3/5, if you do cowboys and horses, that's 5 into 3, but 5 doesn't go into 3. Put a decimal in there, 5 goes into 30 6 times, and there's your negative 0.6. So actually, your answer is going to be, not none, all of them are equivalent. This is the answer, not the others. Which of the following is equivalent? Okay, so I will do this in red. We have 4x plus 5 minus 8 plus 2x. I'll distribute the 4. That's 4x plus 20, because you got to multiply the 4 by everything, minus 8 plus 2x. And I'll combine my like terms. 4 plus 2 is 6x. And then I'll do 20 minus 8. Well, that's 12. 6x plus 12. That is C. So what I have is we got negative 2.8 y plus 21.1 plus 12.5 y plus 8.3. I'm going to combine this with this. They are different signs, so I have to subtract them. I got 12.5 minus 2.8. 15 minus 8 is 7. And this will be 11 minus 2, which is 9. So it looks like I got 9.7. 9.7 and y right there. And then I'm going to combine this one with this one. And that's going to be 21.1 plus 8.3. You got to make sure you line up your decimals on this. So this is going to be 4, and that's 9, that's 2, 29.4. And that's plus 29.4. And it looks like we have an answer of B for that one. Okay. There are 144 seats for a concert at your school. 28 of those seats will be taken up by teachers. So 144. If each band member gets an equal number of tickets, okay, so that is equal to 28 teachers, and there's 29 band members, so you add to that 29 band members, and you want to find out how many each of them can invite. So X is the number of people each band member can invite. So you solve this equation. Subtract 28. You're trying to get X by itself. So I subtract 28, and 144 minus 28. That's going to be 6, and this is 13. Oh, no, yeah, 13. Yeah, 1 through. So that's 1 and 1. 116 equals 29x. So 116 divided by 29. 29 into 116. I'm thinking 9 times what number ends in a 6? 9 times 4. Okay, so let's see, 29 times 4. Let's see, something's going wacky with this. 29 times 4 is 36. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So there you go. It was 4. Each of them can count on 4 people. 11. You need to have 15 equals 3 minus 3x. So what we have to do is get x by itself by subtracting 3 right here. That's 12 equals negative 3x. And 12 divided by negative 3 is going to be equal to x. And 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. Oops. Negative 4. Again, that zero triangle. Just to remind you, positive. Positive divided by a negative is a negative. All right. Okay, m divided by 5 minus 2 equals negative 6. Two sides of the equation. So I'm trying to get m by itself. That means I have to add 2. Negative 6 plus 2 is negative 4. M over 5 equals negative 4. And since I'm dividing by 5, I have to multiply by 5 to get these to cancel. And notice, m is all by itself now. So now I have to multiply by 5 on the other side, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. And negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. And that's our answer. Okay, what I'm going to do is to solve this, I'm going to put this and this together. Negative 4 and negative 5 is negative 9. So negative 9c, and that 23 is positive, so I'll put plus 23 and equals 50. Then I will subtract 23 from both sides. Negative 9c equals 7. That's 27. Great. So c is going to equal 27 divided by negative 9. You have to divide by the exact same number. I'm eyeing this right here and putting that under. And so 27 divided by negative 9. So that means c C is equal to -3, right there. Okay, 5, let's see, I'll have to write it here, 5 minus 2 times x plus 3 equals -11. Okay, distribute the -2. -2 times x is -2x, and -2 times 3 is -6. Copy down the 5, copy down the equals minus -11. How about we do this? 5 minus 6. 5 minus 6 is -1. So that's going to be -1. And I still have the -2x here. Equals -11. And I'm solving the two-step equation by adding 1. -2x equals what? -11 plus 1, that's -10. And so x is going to be -10 divided by -2. Remember, negative divided by negative is a positive, so that's going to be 5. It's A. Brian mowed half of his, okay, so he did half, 1/2 of it in a half hour. How long in an hour? Well, if the time has doubled, then the amount of the yard that's been mowed is doubled too. So if you double a quarter, you get a half. It's pretty easy. Okay, so there's a couple ways we could do this. I think I'm going to go with the standard. Equals x over 8. We learned about cross multiplying. 30 times 8 is, well, you got to think about, well, what's 3 times 8? That's 24. Add a 0 to it. All right, and then you divide by 5. And so 5 goes into 240, doesn't go into 2, but it goes into 24 4 times. And subtract that, that's 40. And 5 goes into 48 times. So x is equal to 48. C. Are they proportional? Well, let's find out. We have 12 over 10 and 30 over 25. That is a sloppy 0. I think maybe what I would do is I would cross multiply. That's a pretty common way to do it. 10 times 30, that's 1 times 3, which is 3 with 2 zeros. Okay, so 300. So 12 times 25. It's 4. Yeah, 12 times 25. That's also 300. You can multiply it out. You'll get the same thing. So they are yes because the two fractions are equal. Pizza with 10 slices cost. What's the cost per slice? What is the cost per slice? Okay, so I do this with the labels so I know what to divide. So the cost is 8 for 10 slices. See, so that tells me now in Cowboys and Horses, this is the order that I have to divide. 10 going into 8. 10 does not go into 8. But if I add a decimal here and I got 80, 10 goes into 80 8 times, boom, 80 cents. Because 0.8 is equal to 0.80, and I could throw a dollar sign there. So we're looking at D. Okay, Chris got a loan. This is where we use interest, I-party. Interest is principal, which you started with, times the rate, times the time. So the principal is 22,000. The rate is 6%. And the time is 5 years. But I need to turn 6% into a decimal, so that's 0.06 times 5. 22,000. Okay. I'm going to multiply these two together. It's kind of easy for me to do because 6 times 5 is 30. So it ends up being 0.30. And we have 22. Oh, I think my pen's going out. 22,000. And so it's really just 22,000 times 0.30. So I'll do 22,000 times 0.30, which is really just 0.3, and it makes it a little bit easier. 0.00066. I move the decimal one time, and it's $6,000. Okay. Oh, $6,600. Now, if it's that much, how much does she end up paying at the end of 5 years? Well, she pays the interest, but you also have to pay back the $22,000 that you borrowed. So you have $22,000 plus $6,600, 00682, $28,600. So that is E. That ain't there. Clothing store paid an import tax of $40 on a shipment of, so tax and shipment. So the tax is 40 bucks and the shipment is $800. If the import tax rate is always the same, okay, which means, you know, our ratios can be the same, then what if we have an import tax of $100? Or, I mean, $110? How much would that shipment be worth? So there we go, cross multiply. 800, so that's going to be 88 with 3 zeros. And then you divide by 40. Okay, we can knock out these zeros right there. So it's 8800 divided by 4. Okay, I can kind of do this in my head. 4 goes into 8. 2 times 4 goes into 8. 2 times in 0, 0. So that is my final answer. There you go. All 20.